with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News.
Happy Monday. Good morning, everyone. I hope the weekend was great for all of you. We want to thank you, though, for waking up with TV5. I'm Blake Keller. So glad you could join us. Colette is off today. Meteorologist Christy Slick is in the First Warren 5 Weather Center, kicking our Monday off with a chilly start. How's it going, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like a quiet start, too. We always like easy Mondays, especially as we get back into the routine. A little bit of snow yesterday, but not much, maybe enough to make things a little bit icy here and there. Today, nothing to really worry about. Your temperatures out the door this morning, right around the teens and 20s, 28 in Saginaw, 23 in Flint, 26 in Midland, and 16 in Houghton Lake. We do have a few other teens, Owasso and Caro, checking in at about 15 and 17. So Houghton Lake, not the only spot in the teens, but at least with the wind, there are more areas that are feeling that cold. It looks like we've also got some single numbers here and there, too. And that northeasterly wind will play a factor for today. It's a bit breezy at times this morning, around 5 to 15 miles per hour, occasionally gusting near 20, and I think that will be the case going through today as well. Your First Warren 5 pinpoint Doppler radar live from MBS is also dry too. Any snow from over the weekend has pushed well to the east of us now and has really gained strength, leading to a pretty good nor'easter through parts of New England. For us, we'll just be left behind with not much snow. We do have hour-by-hour forecast right in front of you. Mostly cloudy skies through today. Mid to upper 20s this afternoon. Could see a few low 30s sneak in there as well. But a pretty easy day to get through. Otherwise, your traffic map looks pretty good in the big picture. We've got a few accidents in and around Genesee County. Looks like one of those on the western side of the county near I-69. That just north of the highway at Seymour Road in the northbound lanes near Lennon Road. We've also got one that's just to the south to the northwest of Fenton. That at White Oaks Drive and also Laring Road. And the last accident that we have, it looks like that's on the northeastern side of Genesee County. That one right around Oak Road and Melanie Lane. So if either of those are a part of your morning commute, just be sure to keep an eye out for that.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. A group of Senate Republicans asking President Joe Biden to work with them on a different COVID-19 relief plan. 10 GOP senators sent a letter to the president Sunday with a counter-proposal to his $1.9 trillion package. Melissa Rainey has the details.
A counter-proposal to President Biden's COVID-19 relief plan. 10 GOP senators sent a letter to Mr. Biden on Sunday asking for a meeting and a chance to work together on drafting the COVID-19 relief package.
It specifies the proposal that we think is more targeted and more appropriate for the times we're in. And my hope is the president will meet with us and we'll be able to work out something that is bipartisan. We've done it 5 times. You know, we've had 5 COVID-19 packages that are entirely bipartisan. Let's do it again because that's what would be best for the country.
The Republican plan includes a total of $160 billion for vaccine development and distribution, testing and tracing, and treatment and supplies. The framework also includes a new round of direct payments, but not for everyone.
If you look at the administration's plan, you could have a family with 3 kids making almost $300,000 a year getting a check. And many of these people have had no impact from COVID. In fact, some are doing quite well. Others are struggling. Let's focus on those who are struggling.
The proposal doesn't have an estimated cost just yet, but Senator Portman says it will be less than Biden's $1.9 trillion plan. Reps from the Biden administration say they're open to some of the GOP suggestions.
What I will say is that the provisions of the president's plan, the American Rescue Plan, were calibrated to the economic crisis that we face. We're certainly open to input from anywhere where we can find a constructive idea to make this package as effective as possible. But the president is uncompromising when it comes to the speed that we need to act at to address this crisis.
I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
All right, well, after months of restrictions due to the pandemic, bars and restaurants have been struggling, many barely holding on while they wait for COVID cases to ease up. And now that wait is over. The indoor dining ban in Michigan lifted this morning. TV5's Trevor Sahaki is live in Bay City, where restaurants are ready to open. Trevor, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Blake. You know, I've been out here all morning. I'm outside Cops and Donuts here in Bay City, and we've been doing the countdown, and it is finally here. Indoor dining is now open here at Cops and Donuts, at least. They were open at 6 a.m. And needless to say, it's an exciting day for eateries all across Michigan. Today's the day. Indoor dining, albeit limited, begins again across the state.
Feeling good that we're getting going in the right direction. I don't think that the 25% is good. We need to be at 50% or higher. For us, it's not quite as bad, but boy, for some of these bars and restaurants to go with 25%, that's just not going to work for them.
Cops and Donuts were mostly takeout in the first place, so no indoor dining didn't hurt as bad. However, across the river at Uptown Grill, indoor dining is all they do during the winter.
It's been very tough because it's like living on eggshells. You don't know when it's going to be, when to get prepared, when not. It hurts anywhere from the staff to the delivery guys to anybody that's, in the restaurant bar business.
For some places, indoor dining is more than just a night out. It's a way to socialize.
We have a lot of elderly come in and they don't have any other family. And they're missing out on that and everything. So the one thing that we joke about and have fun with it, we truly are a mental health division. People need that contact with other humans and other people. And that's the way we look at ourselves, that we're doing good mental health work.
For the Uptown Grill, it's a might as well mentality.
If you don't reopen and you wait, it's like waiting for that perfect day that may never come right now. So this 25%, you really don't know how long it's going to be. It could be just one day. It could be months. You don't know. So you just have to open and go for the best of it. And
now in this Cops and Donuts location here, they have seating inside for 16, which means with the 25% capacity limit, that puts them at only 4 people inside at a time. But as you can probably tell, the lights are on, and there have already been a couple people coming in and out. And so this location and all of their other precincts will be open today for indoor dining as well. Reporting live in Bay City, Trevor Sahaki, WNEMTV5. Blake, back to you.
All righty, Trevor, thank you for that. An exciting day for bars and restaurants, of course, and they will have a 10 p.m. curfew. Those restrictions will last until the 21st. Michigan State University has issued an enhanced physical distancing directive after a rise in cases. As students return to East Lansing for the spring semester, the university has seen a rise in positivity rates. To help reduce transmission, it's telling students not to gather with others on or off campus starting today. Dining halls will only serve takeout and mobile orders. The new directive lasts until February 13th. The CDC wants you to stay safe for the Super Bowl. That's why it is issuing new pandemic-related guidances for the big game. The CDC says attending large gatherings, including Super Bowl parties, increases your risk of getting and spreading COVID-19. Experts say the safest way to watch the game is at home with people you live with. However, if you choose to go to a larger event like a watch party, use alternative methods to celebrate. Use noisemakers instead of cheering. Arrive early to avoid crowds and use any touchless payment methods. This year's Super Bowl will see the Kansas City Chiefs battle the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. TV5 is your home for Super Bowl 55. You can watch the big game right here on Sunday, February 7th at 6:30. In more local news, Crime Stoppers asking for tips in solving the shooting of Alexis Aaron. Last July, the 17-year-old was shot in a drive-by on Johnson Avenue near West Court Street in Flint. She later died from her injuries. Crime Stoppers is offering up to $2,500 for any information. Deputies are investigating a crash in Sanilac Township. It happened on M25 near Custer Road Saturday. Deputies say a 29-year-old Deckerville woman was driving with her boyfriend and 2 boys. As they were headed north, the vehicle left the road, went into a ditch and hit a utility pole. Deputies believe alcohol was a factor in the crash, and the boyfriend was arrested on an unrelated criminal charge. Everyone else in the vehicle was taken to the hospital for treatment. The Dow Tennis Classic is hosting a number of virtual events this week, all to celebrate the long, storied history of the tournament. Tennis fans will be able to watch exclusive interviews, join social media contests, and help count down the top moments of the 2020 competition. This year's event has been pushed back to the fall due to the pandemic. It will return to Midland November 1st for its 33rd year. TV5 News Time right now is 6:09. A drug bust led investigators to a dog fighting ring. What happened to the 15 pit bulls that were found? The latest developments coming up. A military coup in Myanmar this morning. What you need to know. We'll have all the latest in just a few. Here's a live look outside at Bay City. A beautiful shot right there. We are starting off a bit chilly, so just be sure to wear those layers. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TV5 Wake Up. It's time for your morning mix. Homeless activists with a group calling itself Ollie Housing Now are occupying the lobby in multiple rooms at the Red Lion in Olympia, Washington. It's in an apparent takeover attempt, seeking pandemic housing for dozens of people. Advocates booked 17 rooms at the hotel and are demanding the county pay for those rooms with federal management agency funding. Myanmar's military has seized power in a coup against the elected government and declared a one-year state of emergency. The army has detained leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other members of the ruling party. Suu Kyi and other leaders were taken in a raid early this morning. Soldiers now surround City Hall. There have been growing tensions between the civilian government and the army after the ruling party claimed victory in November's election. The military claims that vote was fraudulent. The New York Sheriff's Office broke up two huge parties with hundreds of people violating the city's COVID-19 restrictions. One party in the Bronx Saturday had more than 400 people. The host of the party and the DJ are facing multiple violations for breaking emergency orders and health codes. Over in Queens, 225 people caught at a party at an illegal bottle club. Social media photos showed a number of people without masks and ignoring social distancing guidelines. Two DJs and security were also charged with multiple COVID-19 related violations.
And now your first Warn 5 forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Good Monday morning, Mid-Michigan. Hopefully you had a great weekend. A pretty smooth morning commute ahead of us for today, at least in most areas. A few school closings popping up at the bottom of your screen. Be sure to check those out. There might be some icy back roads here and there after some snow over the weekend, but most of the main roads should be in good shape. Your first Warn 5 high temperature map later this afternoon also shows that it should be a pretty easy day overall. Pretty typical early February conditions, upper 20s to low 30s later today. Our coolest spots right around the mid 20s or so, but things will be changing as we head towards the end of the week and also into the weekend. We might finally get a true cold outbreak. We've been avoiding them so far this year, but it looks like this weekend and also into early next week, we really might start to see things change. Now that's going to come after a bit of a warm up as we head towards the Wednesday and Thursday time frame. Emphasis on a bit. It's not going to be a significant warm up, but some above average temperatures as we do have a ridge of high pressure that will be building in. That unfortunately is followed by a big trough, a big dip in the jet stream, bringing in some colder air as we end the week on Friday and also continuing into the weekend. That cold air only becomes more pronounced heading into early next week. I think it's during that time we could see some of our coldest high temperatures of the season to this point. Now, those temperatures Thursday likely going to be around the mid to upper 30s. I think it's pretty darn close to 40 in some spots by the time Thursday afternoon rolls around, but don't get used to it. It's back to the 30s by Friday, some 20s over the weekend, and I think potentially into the weekend we could be seeing some highs only in the teens, and it's been a while since that's happened. At MBS Airport in the Tri-Cities region, it's been all the way back to Valentine's Day of last year, so just shy of a year. It's been even longer in Flint, right around March 5th of 2019. It will be 700 days by the time that happens, if it does over the weekend into early next week. So gives you a little perspective on just how cold some of those temperatures might be. We've typically seen them in the month of February. It's just been a little bit. Now your first Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar live from MBS is all dry this morning. Not much to talk about for the morning commute outside of any icy roads that may still remain from our snow yesterday. In the big picture here, it should be pretty quiet the next couple of days as high pressure gradually builds in, and all the snow from yesterday now translating to a pretty powerful nor'easter to the east of us. But for us, we keep avoiding at least the big snowstorm so far this year. Your first Warn 5 hour by hour forecast shows mostly cloudy skies today. Likely keeping mostly cloudy skies going into tonight, but there may be a chance for a little bit of clearing along US 127 heading into tomorrow morning. I think we're mostly cloudy through a good chunk of the day tomorrow, but the general trend will be for more clearing. I think we may see some sun to end the day tomorrow, even more so as we head into Wednesday. The rest of this week should be pretty quiet up until Thursday. That's when our next system comes in. It looks like an evening arrival. This one not only bringing our next chance of snow, but also potentially, judging by this pink shading right here, and some of the green shading, a little bit of mix and also the possibility of some rain too. So that's going to be a little bit more complicated than our systems recently that were just all snow. So stay tuned to that as we try and figure that out as we get a little bit closer. Your forecast today, 28 degrees, mostly cloudy, maybe some sun breaks possible here and there, maybe some filtered sunshine sneaking through. I don't think that's a widespread thing, but possible. Your forecast tonight right around 16, a pretty chilly night. And then your 7-day shows things get interesting. By Thursday, our next system, that turns into scattered snow on Friday, some scattered lake effect over the weekend. I also think over the weekend, temperatures will be a big story, dropping to the teens potentially by Sunday.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Thinking about how cold I am already. TV5 News time is 6:20. Winter storms continue to batter the nation. How other states are handling the wicked weather.
Getting down on Friday.
It's not Friday, but it is Rebecca Black. We'll give you a look at the new song from the viral singer coming up after the break. But first, here's Lisa Robertson with a look at your local steals and deals.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday, as well as the start of February. Can't believe we already have January in our rear view. Here's a live look over mid-Michigan this morning. Mostly dry conditions to start our work week, and so far, nice, calm, and quiet. Thanks so much for waking up with TV5. I'm Blake Keller. Meteorologist Chris Eastlick also joining us, and I hope we can kick off this week on a great start, Chris.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, Blake. There are a few problem spots that have kind of popped up as we've gone throughout the morning here. A few school closings at the bottom of your screen. It doesn't appear to be a widespread thing, but enough to pay attention to. So make sure you check those out at the bottom of your screen. Your temperatures across the area early this morning are in the teens and 20s. Not unheard of for the start of February. And it looks like our wind chills are down in the teens and also the single numbers too. As you step outside, it currently feels like 11 in Saginaw and Flint, 20 in Midland, 8 in Carroll, 9 in Sandusky, and 15 in Mount Pleasant. It looks like our wind speeds contributing to that in a big way. 5 to 15 miles per hour coming out of the northeasterly direction. And I think those wind chills will be pretty consistent as we go through today. Now, your first Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar live from MBS doesn't have any snow to speak of. So why do we have school closings? Well, there was probably just enough snow yesterday to lead to some icy patches here and there. So just be mindful of those as you get ready to leave the house. But as far as any snow goes, that is well to the east of us now, and that's where it should stay. I don't anticipate any wet weather for us today, just mostly cloudy skies and temperatures right around the upper 20s later this afternoon. Your live on-time traffic map. For the most part, our main roads have been in pretty good shape this morning. However, it's those side streets and back roads that might be a bit of a problem. We've got 2 accidents on the south side of Genesee County. One of those at White Oaks Drive and Laring Road. The other one is just to the south of there. Looks like it's a little bit closer to US 23 at Owen Road and Highland Trail. And the last one on the northeast side of the county, Oak Road and Mullane Lane. So hopefully those aren't causing major issues, but just be careful in those areas.
Very good, Chris. Thank you. Well, February 1st marks the beginning of a new month. And here in Michigan, it also marks the return of indoor dining. TV5's Trevor Sahaki is live in Bay City this morning with a look at some local shops who are ready to welcome back customers. Trevor, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Blake. As you could probably tell behind me, the lights are on, which means Cops and Donuts here in Bay City is open, and open for indoor dining as well. Needless to say, it's an exciting day across Michigan. Now, I spoke with the owner, one of the co-owners of Cops and Donuts last week as they prepared to reopen. He told me not only is it good for business to have indoor dining, but also good for some of their regulars.
We have a lot of elderly come in and they don't have any other family. And they're missing out on that and everything. So the one thing that we joke about and have fun with it, we truly are a mental health division. You know, people need that contact with other humans and other people. And that's the way we look at ourselves, that we're doing good mental health work.
Another restaurant here in Bay City across the river that'll be opening for brunch and lunch today is Uptown Grill. Its owner told me when they closed indoor last year, he went from 16 employees to 2, just him in the kitchen and another to answer the phone.
It's been very tough because it's like living on eggshells. You don't know when it's going to be, when to get prepared, when not. It hurts anywhere from the staff to the delivery guys to anybody that's in the restaurant bar business.
Now in this Cops and Donuts location here, they only have seating for 16, which means with the new 25% capacity limit, that puts them at only 4 people inside at one time. But we've already seen a few people come inside and get their donuts, so they're not at any loss of customers at all. And all of the precincts will be open today. Reporting live in Bay City, Trevor Sahaki, WNEMTV5. Blake, back to you.
All right, Trevor, thank you for that. Well, a drug investigation in Flint led to the discovery of a dog fighting ring with 15 pit bulls. What happens next for those dogs, though, remains to be seen.
They're basically in limbo until the courts decide what to do with them and move forward with prosecution. They just are there.
The dogs are now in the care of Genesee County Animal Control, but since dogs are considered property in court cases, they're also considered evidence. In fact, out of the 33 dogs currently at Animal Control, 20 are off limits who are involved in court proceedings. So there's not much that can be done at this moment.
If it's a 9-month court case, we can't get them fixed. We can't spay and neuter them. They can only do the very, very basic vetting and health care that they need.
Depending on the outcome of the court case, these dogs eventually can be put up for adoption. If you'd like to help out shelters right here in mid-Michigan, now is your chance. Jordan's Way founder Chris Rotunda is traveling across the country looking to raise money for shelters in all 50 states. Today, he'll be taking over the Facebook pages of 2 local shelters. He'll be at Genesee County Animal Control from 10 to 2 and at the Humane Society of Midland County from 5 to 9. Both shelters aim to raise $10,000. Developing this morning, a major winter storm is bearing down on the northeast, and it's bringing a treacherous combination of cold air, high winds, and driving snow. Deborah Alfarone reports.
Storm watches, warnings, and advisories are posted from the Midwest all the way up to Maine. The region is being hit by a blast of unusually powerful winter weather. Snow began falling in the New York City area on Sunday night. It's expected to continue until Tuesday, with as much as 2 feet piling up in some places.
This is not a storm to underestimate. Take it seriously. This is a dangerous storm.
Forecasters warned that the snow would be accompanied by winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour, strong enough to down trees and power lines. The National Weather Service urged people to avoid wooded areas and even advised staying indoors and away from windows. Here in the nation's capital, experiencing its first significant snowfall in almost 2 years, they declared a snow emergency. Similar declarations have been made in Philadelphia, New York City, and in the entire state of New Jersey. This slow-moving system churned across the country over the weekend. Northern Illinois got hit with over 12 inches of snow. Milwaukee tallied 10 inches on Saturday night alone. The weather nearly turned tragic in Virginia when a fire truck overturned on an ice-covered road. 4 crew members were hospitalized. All are expected to survive.
Again, that was Deborah Alfarone reporting. Because of the severity of the weather, officials in New York have canceled COVID-19 vaccinations scheduled for today. It's unclear if Tuesday's appointments will also be canceled. Now, we've seen a number of snow days for schools here in mid-Michigan, but a district in Kalamazoo County is still going virtual and saying no to snow days. The Comstock Public Schools superintendent says the decision was made because snow days were meant to be taken as a safety measure. But despite the virtual model, some teachers are still driving to school.
We encourage them to stay home, but if they wanted to come in to use technology or print materials or to connect with colleagues, for some reason, that would be their discretion.
Some teachers didn't have any internet pre-pandemic, so the district provided hotspots to keep everyone connected. Continuing coverage, the Burton Fire Department says a person was hospitalized after a commercial structure fire. Crews were dispatched to the blaze on Lapeer Road near Martha Avenue. The department says the property was used as a storage facility and sustained serious damage. One employee who was inside was injured and transported to Hurley Medical Center. Neighboring businesses did sustain smoke and water damage, but they were unoccupied. The cause of that fire remains under investigation. More local news starting today. Low and moderate income taxpayers can get assistance preparing their tax forms. The Frankenmuth Credit Union and the United Way of Saginaw County will begin offering scan and go appointments for residents who cannot afford to pay for tax preparations. Trained volunteers will help prepare simple tax forms. The sites are open by appointment only. Now, to schedule an appointment or to get help filing your taxes, just head to the hotlink section of WNEM.com. TV5 News Time is 6:39. The GOP is proposing a cheaper alternative to the Biden administration's COVID relief bill. Find out what exactly they're suggesting. January ends as the deadliest month of the pandemic in the U.S. Johns Hopkins University data found more than 95,000 people died during that span. As we enter February, health officials are again stressing the importance of mask wearing and keeping your distance from others. John Lawrence reports.
The U.S. saw its COVID-19 hospitalizations drop below 100,000 this weekend, according to the COVID Tracking Project. That's a low not seen since December 1st.
We have a little breathing room right now, but if these new variants become dominant in our country, we are going to be right back where we were in November and December, and perhaps even worse.
Despite the drop in hospitalizations, the 7-day average of new cases is similar to what it was in December, and the average number of deaths per day has more than doubled since that time.
The surge that is likely to occur with this new variant from England is going to happen in the next 6 to 14 weeks. And if we see that happen, which my 45 years in the trenches tell us we will, we are going to see something like we have not seen yet in this country.
The University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation's latest model projects close to 120,000 additional Americans could die from COVID-19 within the next 2 months, at least in part because of the variants. And the numbers could be even worse with a more rapid spread of variants.
Just going to the grocery store, to school, or to work could become more dangerous.
More than 31 million COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered in the U.S. thus far, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. As health officials push people to roll up their sleeves, many areas report more willing people than available shots. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, the CDC has a new order going into effect tonight. It requires people to wear masks while on any form of public transportation. The European Commission president says drug maker AstraZeneca has agreed to deliver 9 million additional doses of its COVID vaccine in the first quarter of the year. This comes days after the company said it would cut vaccine supplies to the EU because of production problems. Yesterday, the Commission president said AstraZeneca would expand manufacturing capacity in Europe and start deliveries sooner than expected. The British World War II veteran who made headlines for raising millions for the UK's National Health Service is in the hospital for COVID-19. Captain Sir Thomas More has battled pneumonia for several weeks, then tested positive for the virus. The 100-year-old became a national celebrity last year after walking laps in his garden in support of the NHS. His efforts raised nearly $40 million, and Moore was even knighted by the Queen for his service. Now, shaping up to be a busy week in Washington with confirmation hearings and policy speeches by President Joe Biden on the calendar. Britt Conway has a look at the week ahead.
As Congress bickers over a COVID-19 relief plan and the Senate prepares for former President Donald Trump's impeachment trial, President Joe Biden is making moves to deliver on his promise of national unity. Monday, he'll be talking foreign policy, with a senior administration official saying his speech will center on the theme of restoring America's place in the world. Tuesday, immigration will take center stage as Biden plans to deliver remarks and sign an executive order that his press secretary says is for, quote, advancing his priority to modernize our immigration system. Wednesday, a confirmation hearing for Michael Regan, Biden's nominee to head the Environmental Protection Agency. Thursday, another confirmation hearing, this time for Biden's nominee for Labor Secretary, Boston Mayor Marty Walsh. And Friday, Biden will deliver remarks about the economy on what the White House has dubbed Jobs Day. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And now your first Horn 5 forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Welcome to Monday, Mid-Michigan. Hopefully had a great weekend, a pretty easy weekend overall. A little bit of snow yesterday, but not much, maybe enough to slicken up the roads a little bit, and we might still be feeling the after effects of that in at least some parts of Mid-Michigan. Our traffic map has looked pretty good in the big picture, but there are some school closings at the bottom of your screen, so be sure to check those out. Most of them appear to be closer to US 127 and some of our southwestern zones, so that would be the place to start. But just be mindful as you head out. Typical February driving conditions, and I think some pretty typical February February temperatures this afternoon. Should be right around the upper 20s to low 30s at best. I'd say some mid-20s are possible in our northern counties, but these temperatures not all that bad when you compare what's happening later this week. I think we may even get a bit of a warm up going into Wednesday and also Thursday time frame as this ridge of high pressure builds in. But behind that, we've got a dip in the jet stream bringing in some colder air. It's likely kicking off our weekend on Friday night and also sticking around with another cool shot of air going into Sunday and also Monday of next week. So what does that look like temperature wise? Well, we've got some 30s through early this week. Our warmest day appears to be on Thursday, where we may touch the mid to upper 30s. By the time the end of the week comes around, it might be a struggle to even break 20 on Saturday and even more so on Sunday. So we could be looking at some high temperatures that are in the teens by early next week. And it's been a while since we've seen that in the Tri-Cities region since Valentine's Day of last year, February 14th, 353 days ago. In Flint, it's been even longer, just shy of 700 days since we last saw a high temperature in the teens. That was March 5th of 2019. So it's been a long time. Gives you a little perspective on just how cold that air will be going into the weekend and early next week. Now, your first Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar shows you we're off to at least a dry start this morning. Nothing to worry about as far as any wet weather today. Our snow from over the weekend is now pushing to the east of us, turning into a pretty powerful nor'easter, giving them a huge snowstorm. For us, well, we really haven't seen the big one lately. We've had our fair share of snow chances here and there, but nothing like what they'll experience the next couple of days. Your first Warn 5 hour-by-hour forecast shows mostly cloudy skies through today. Not much change from morning until afternoon. You may see a few cloud breaks here or there, some filtered sunshine perhaps from time to time, but not much. I don't think that's going to be for everybody, but later tonight we show signs of clearing. I think along US 127 and areas west of there might see a little clearing towards daybreak tomorrow, and then a slow process through our Tuesday where we may see clouds eventually move out from west to east going through the course of the day. So while we do start cloudy, we may have a chance for a little bit of sunshine to end the day tomorrow and even more so on Wednesday. Now going into your Thursday, we start dry, and I think we're dry for much of your Thursday, but Thursday evening our next system arrives, likely bringing our next chance of snow. But unlike the last few systems, this one will have the chance to bring a little mix and also potentially some plain old rain to come along with that. So that's going to be a bit more complicated of a system as we go through the next couple of days. So it's something we'll have our eyes on. Tough to be specific this far out in time, though, with it being so temperature dependent. So stay tuned. Your forecast today, 28 degrees, mostly cloudy. Some sun breaks are possible, but I think those are more or less a few and far between. Your forecast tonight, right around 16 with partly to mostly cloudy skies. A better chance for some sun tomorrow and Wednesday, especially towards the end of the day tomorrow. Thursday and Friday, we'll have some chances for snow and perhaps a little bit of mix too. And over the weekend, some scattered lake effect snow. I think the bigger story over the weekend is the cooler air that will be moving in.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you for that. A look back at some of today's top headlines. Republicans propose a cheaper alternative to the Biden administration's COVID relief plan. The Republican plan includes a total of $160 billion for vaccine development and distribution, testing and tracing, and treatment and supplies. The framework also includes a new round of stimulus checks, but only for eligible Americans. Indoor dining reopens in Michigan today. Restaurants and bars will be allowed to reopen at 25% capacity with up to 100 people. Tables must be 6 feet apart with no more than 6 people per table. Outdoor tents with 4 sides are allowed under these same rules. Now bars and restaurants must close by 10. The CDC is issuing new pandemic-related guidances for watching the big game. Attending large gatherings, including Super Bowl parties, increases your risk of getting and spreading COVID-19. Experts say the safest way to watch the game is at home with people you live with. The Dow Tennis Classic hosts a number of virtual events this week, all to celebrate the long storied history of the tournament. Tennis fans will be able to watch exclusive interviews, join social media contests, and help count down the top moments of the 2020 competition. Organizers pushed this year's event back to the fall due to the pandemic. It will return to Midland November 1st. Now a look at what's to come on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, over 100 million Americans are waking up to the biggest winter storm to hit the Northeast in years. Plus, legendary singer Tony Bennett and his family are breaking their silence about a closely held secret. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, your 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy today. It does look like tomorrow we'll have a better chance for some sunshine, especially towards the end of the day. And then Wednesday looks like the nicest day of this week. Plenty of sun Wednesday with some low to mid 30s. Our next system arrives on Thursday, continues into Friday, and then we'll have some chances for snow over the weekend of the lake effect variety as cooler air moves in. I think cooler air will be a bigger story going into early next week. Highs potentially only in the teens by that time, so plenty worth watching in your 7-day towards the end of this week.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. Looking forward to Groundhog Day as well tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching TV5 Wake Up. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay warm, stay safe.